As the planet heats up, we are becoming more and more aware of the impacts of the climate crisis. Maimunah Mohd Sharif is the Executive Director of UN Habitat. She's here in Turkey to discuss and exchange ideas with the Turkish presidency, including the First Lady Emine Erdoğan, who's in charge of the country's zero waste program. Madam Maimunah might be one of the most interesting people I've ever met. I'm Regan Devine, and this is TRT World's One-on-One. Madam Maimunah, it's a pleasure sitting and speaking with you.
Thank you.
Thank you
so
for
much.
coming, and welcome to TRT World, and of course to Turkey.
Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you.
It's really nice meeting you, Madam Maimunah. Before we start, because I know you're in Turkey, you discussed quite a few things with the President, with the First Lady. I want to get your comments first on the UN Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, who said that we're entering an era of global boiling. Are you afraid of what's to come?
I think that, thank you so much for inviting me to this. Global warming is not a new phenomenon. We have been, since Paris Agreement, when we have to reach 1.5 degrees. And at that time, as the Secretary General said, it's global warming. But now it's global boiling, because I think the report from the IPCC, IOM, from the WMO, saying that the July is the hottest month globally. And even I think you felt it here in Turkey and also in other parts. I just came back from Malaysia. It's also very hot. So I think, yes, but what are the action that we need to take? I think that is the most important things now. How can we accelerate in achieving the Paris Agreement, accelerate in the implementation of the new urban agenda, accelerate in the implementation of the sustainable development goal, in order, at least, if not to solve, at least to mitigate the challenges of global warming or global boiling that is mentioned by the Secretary General. That is the most important thing.
What do you think about the First Lady Emine Erdoğan's recommendation that the Zero Waste Advisory Board hold its first face-to-face meeting in Istanbul on November 1st, I believe it is, one. Secondly, what do you think the world can learn from Turkey's zero waste management program? I
have the opportunity to moderate the first meeting, online meeting last week, together with the First Lady and Excellency Emine, and also the advisory board. And from my moderation, from my observation, is that each advisory members, they have their expertise, they share their work. The meeting supposed to be 1 hour, is end up 1.5 hours. I keep on knocking say, hey, only 3 minutes, only 3 minutes.
There's a lot of excitement, huh?
A lot of excitement, a lot of opportunity. They said, I want to share this, I want to share my problem. So each of them have their expertise. We were chosen by the Secretary General, expertise, and also from various fields. Not only those in the city, it's also the researcher, the NGO, the private sector, and also from the government, and even from the First Lady of Suriname and Sierra Leone. The second question that when you ask that what they can learn, because I realized that I met the First Lady in 2019 when she invited me to share my experience as a mayor in Penang, where I'm very much passionate about solid waste management. I think she did some research. That's why she said that you please explain and share with us. At that time, the First Lady round table. I'm the only one is not First Lady at that round table. Maimunah, can you share with you as a mayor, how can you handle the solid waste management in your city, where you're recycling from 16% increase to 50%? How do you do it? So I shared through integrated and holistic, from the school children, from the kindergarten, talking to the community, talking to the private sector, talking to the government. So the holistic part, and that's what also similar to the system approach that is taken by the First Lady. So I said that is the holistic part and integrated is very important in tackling the waste and leading to the circular economy.
So you believe that dealing with the globe's waste problem, including plastics, which we can't do without at this point in time, it seems, starts with young people, which is commendable, I think. But do you think there's enough appetite to make zero waste an actual lifestyle?
I believe in it. I've done it. I've done it in my house in Malaysia. I've done it also in my house in Nairobi. Even the management asked me, why there is no rubbish? We don't have to collect rubbish from your gate. I said, I'm practicing zero waste.
Wait, how do you do this?
Yes, because for example, like, things that can be recycled, I put it in one side. And things is from the kitchen, I do composting.
Did you do this on your own?
It's together with my husband.
Ah, that's nice.
Because I said we have to walk our talk. And I remember when the Deputy Secretary General came to my place, they said that this is SDG living, Maimunah. You have to bring your colleagues to come and have a look. So what I meant is that we need to believe in it, and each of us have to play the role. Policy from the leaders. If the leaders believe in it, for example, like the First Lady of Turkey believe in it, then it will trickle it down to the ground. So it's leadership by example, and also regulation and governance. This is very, very important.
Leadership by example is a great ideal, I think. But we are bombarded with images online and on television by these attractive commercials that sell us these drinks in plastic bottles, sell us these clothes that use synthetic fibers. How do we even begin to live the way you do, to have your own compost and your own farm and use no plastic bottles or forks or knives? I mean, right now the world produces twice as much plastic as we did 2 decades ago. Most of it ends up in landfills or incinerated, releasing more chemicals into the atmosphere. It sounds impossible.
It's possible. I'm very, very optimistic. It's possible, but you have to believe in it. They have to do it. It's possible because we are talking about from waste to wealth, talking about circular economy now. So it's why we have to tackle from the early production to the marketing and to after services. So that is where the circular economy is all about. So if we believe in it, and for example, like just very simple, you go to the hotel, they give you straw. Don't take the straw. Why you need the plastic straw? So I think that this little thing will help. But of course, the global policy, the Paris agreements and all that need to be done.
My last question to you is, and you know of the climate clock, which is similar to the doomsday clock. The climate clock says we have just over 5 years before things becomes irreversible. What do you think the world is going to look like in 5 years from now? The floods, the storms, the droughts, the lack of water. What's going to happen in 5 years?
I look at it in 2 ways. One, if you do nothing, you will be doomed. More flood, more forest fire, and more.
So we're doomed because based on our current trajectory,
yes,
we're not doing enough.
We are doomed. Do we want to follow that path? If we do something, I think that's why now many at the global level they're talking about to raise the ambition, and I'm putting it to raise the ambition in the implementation. The action is now, whatever action, because science report is already said that. There's so many reports, IPPC report, the science already said that, please do something. So if you don't do, you are going to the doom. But which way do you want? So I think that if we have to do something, to act something, because we know what to do. But it's a matter of
conviction.
Yes,
but
conviction.
You know, one of the few, there are few stronger motivators than fear. Do you think people are afraid enough to make that change? Because we're still on path.
We have no choice. We have no choice. We have to change our behavior. We have to change our lifestyle. I mean, it start from the, as I said, start from the advocacy part. I think the information communication is very, very important to make people realize. Even now, people say, oh, very hot. With this time of weather in July, there is the opportunity to explain to the people, if you continue living like this, now it's 41, you can reach 50. Do you want to live? I remember my dad told me, when I took him to Kuala Lumpur, I gave him a bottle of mineral water. We are from the village. Then he said, what is this? I said, water. Why do you need to buy water? I said that we can get free water from the well. I said, oh no, this one, you cannot drink the water from the tap. I said, why is it so dirty? Why you need to buy water? Then he told me, please, you are an urban planner. Don't wait until one day you have to carry the oxygen tank in order to breathe. My father from the village told me 20 years ago.
Yeah.
If we continue like this, you can happen. Yeah. Then I live it. Oh, my dad is a simple man. He have a very far-sighted. He told me, if you are not careful, one day you have to carry an oxygen tank in order to breathe.
Wow. Oh, it sounds like a prediction. It will be.
If we do nothing, but I think we are bright enough to do something.
Are we bright enough though?
We have to.
Yeah.
We have to do something for our future generation and also for us.
Madam Maimunah, it was a real pleasure meeting you and speaking with you. I wish you the best of luck in convincing people who need convincing that the change needs to happen now. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.